So there's kind of three fundamental things that you want to pay attention to when you're peeking. Number one, you want to peek as fast as possible. Number two, you want to stop as fast as possible. And number three, which is kind of the ultimate goal, you want to click on them as fast as possible. But clicking on them as fast as possible relies on the first two. So let's focus on number one first, which is peeking as fast as possible. You want to come around the corner with as much velocity, as much momentum as you can. There's two reasons for this. One, you're going to throw your enemy's aim off because you're moving quicker, which is going to force them to flick. And two, it gives them less time to react. The way you're going to want to optimize for that, peek as far back from the corner as possible, because by peeking closer, I'm on the corner right now, I can't see him at all, but look at my leg, look at my shoulder, they're sticking out from around the corner. He can see me, I can't see him yet. So by peeking further back, I'm minimizing that, which means that I am peeking faster, relatively, right? So I'm moving slower on his screen. That's true, because I'm close, further away, so there's less parallax. But critically, I am not showing my hitbox to him sooner than I have to be, right? I'm seeing his hitbox at the same time he's seeing mine, right? So you want to peek as far back as possible. The other thing is you want to peek with A or D. Never peek with W. This is like maybe the most important thing I'm going to talk about in the entire video. Never peek with W. Because let's say I peek with W. Let's say I'm walking around the corner like this. There's two things that I'm doing that are bad, very bad. Your maximum velocity in Counter-Strike, let's say with holding a knife, 250 units. That's as fast as you can move. Doesn't matter if you're moving diagonally, horizontally, or forward. What that means is that by moving diagonally, you are subtracting from your horizontal component the coefficient. I'm not going to do Pythagorean theorem live to tell you exactly how much you're slowing yourself down by, but you are slowing down your horizontal component. Because your maximum movement is 250 units, and some of that has to go into your forward component if you're going to peek diagonally. So that's the first reason. The other reason is it makes crosshair placement harder. If I'm going to try to peek a corner, let's say like with just W, this is a worst case example, I'm going to have to go like this and then turn and shoot him. That's terrible for your crosshair placement. That's point number 3. We're going to get to that later. But never, ever, ever walk around a corner with W. Like, you're going to get yourself killed 100% of the time. This is like the worst possible way to be peeking a corner. Diagonally is also pretty bad for two reasons. One, you're putting yourself closer to the corner again, so you're revealing your hitbox sooner than you have to. That's not good. The other reason, and this ties into point 2, is that you want to stop your movement as quickly as you can, right? As soon as I come around the corner, I want to be tapping my movement key to stop so that I'm ready to shoot and I'm accurate, because you're not accurate when you're moving in Counter-Strike. So you want to come around the corner as fast as possible, tap your movement key to stop, make a small adjustment to your aim, click, and shoot them. By moving with W and A, you're giving yourself a way harder time with that. Like it's way more difficult to counter-strafe, because you're going to have to hit S and D, which means taking your like middle finger off of W to tap S and then hit D, and it's messy, and I have 2,500 hours in this game, and I can't do it cleanly, so you can't either. Like, I don't care if you have 6,000 hours. I don't think anyone can do it cleanly, because A, it's not a good thing to be doing in the first place, and B, it's just a really awkward movement to have to do with your left hand. So simplify your peeks. Like, literally just hold A, tap D. Hold D, tap A. Like, that's it. Like, that's it. That's all you have to do to peek in Counter-Strike. The third component, click as fast as possible. That's basically the same thing as stop as fast as possible. The only additional factor when you want to click as fast as possible is that you need your crosshair to be in a good spot in the first place, right? You need your crosshair not to be over here. Don't be looking at the floor when you're coming around this corner, because then, yeah, sure, I came to a halt really fast. I came around the corner with perfect fundamentals, but now I got to move my crosshair all the way up here to shoot the guy. What? Are you crazy? Don't do that. Peek like this. Peek with your crosshair at least pretty close to where it needs to be, because then you only have to do a small adjustment before you shoot. So that comes into crosshair placement. That's a whole nother topic, like on its own, that I'm not ready to record a video on. But that sort of comes with a lot of time spent playing the game. So focus fundamentally, I would actually say, on your crosshair placement. Like, that has to come before a good peek. However, when you're coming around a corner, just sort of remember a small checklist of, like, how do I give myself the biggest advantage against this guy as possible, right? Because you don't want to peek with a disadvantage if you don't have to. Peek the corner with one key, and then tap the opposite one, because that's simple. That's so easy. Like, anyone can do that. My mom could do that. She doesn't play video games, and she'd be good at it if I just told her hold A, tap D. Like, anyone can do that. It's way easier than hold W and A and then tap S and D to try to come to a stop, or hold control and then, like, slowly crab walk around the corner. That's not a good way to peek. But it's really, really common in lower levels. Like, you see this all the time for silvers, novas, even MGs. Back in CSGO, I would see swinging angles like this, like just walking around the corner, like trying to clear things like that. It's stupid. Like, essentially, your checklist is, can I be further away from the angle? Yes or no, right? Can I peek from further back than here? Yes, I can. So let's go back here. Can I swing faster, right? Can I peek with more momentum than right here? Like, yeah, I can get up to a faster speed if I peek from a little further off the angle. All right, can I stop faster? Yeah, you can. You can tap D as you come around the corner. Suddenly, that's actually like a serviceable, decent peek. Obviously, that peek is going to be a lot better. You've got a guy back here that's like throwing flashbangs for you and stuff. Like that's better. You want that. However, if you don't have any of that, if you can't get any of that because you're playing with a stack of randoms, and you can't call for flashes because you're playing in like 2000 elo and nobody knows nades, that's fine. Like you can still absolutely destroy people by just knowing how to come around a corner and knowing how to kind of destroy their advantages that they might have, right? Again, let's peek triple here. So can you already see what I'm doing wrong? I'm peeking from way too close. Look at all the room I have back here. I can peek from all the way up here, right? I'm not exposed to the guy triple yet. I can peek from here, and I can swing, and I can get myself up to a higher momentum. I can get myself out further from the corner before I have to stop. I can minimize the amount of hitbox that I'm showing. I can swing it from here. Like that is, and in fact, this is something that I forget too, even with 2,500 hours played and being global elite, top 600 in Canada on Face It. Like that's, I still peak that wrong. So anyone can improve, unless you are like literally, I don't know, like Monesi or Nico or Simple, Robs, you know, like obviously they are going to peek that corner perfectly every time, but you and I are not them. So yeah, peek from as far back as you can, like so. Have your crosshair in a good place, like I didn't, and you're going to have a much easier time clearing sites, and it's simpler. It's way easier to clear a site like this. Like 100%, I'm having a much easier time clearing it like this than someone would if they were trying to clear it like a silver does, right? The way that I'm doing it is it's simpler. It's like this kind of way that like, so, and I'm actually clearing it way better than a silver would, even when I'm trying to give my bad example. But like holding W, like this is a terrible, terrible, terrible way to walk out onto this site. Because if I'm holding W with anything other than like a Mac 10, because that's different. If I'm holding W with anything that is, you know, requires stopping to be accurate, I'm gonna have a bad time because I'm gonna have to tap S. I'm gonna have to pivot my mouse. I'm gonna have to flick, try and shoot them. I'm gonna have to hit a crazy shot. And you don't need to hit crazy shots. You can just walk around the corner horizontally. Just walk horizontally. That's the moral of the video. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. I know it's a little bit rambly. I know that I didn't get my points across probably as concisely as I maybe should have. But yeah, I hope you have a great day. I hope you are enjoying Counter-Strike if you're new to the game. And I hope that you come to find that you love it as much as so many of us already do. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, that's all.